Are we starting up? Is everything going here? It looks like we might be starting. I think we're live. Oh my God. Hey, everybody. It's Jason Blaha here. Just sitting here. Early afternoon. End of the month. Going to do some more lives for you guys. I got one minor client sheet to do for one of my clients who's already in bed and he's overseas. So I don't even have to do it right now. I have no other work that I have to get done today other than social media posting, which I can do while talking to you lovely guys and gals. So let's get in here and do this. Let's get this going. Let's get it kicking off. Let me make a little community tab post so that everybody is fully aware that I am live and that we are live. And yeah, let me make a community tab post. Let's do it. All right. All right. This is the afternoon current events, questions, topics, anything. Anybody wants to cover? Oh, we're already getting views. Let's get those views. Let's get those likes up. You know what, guys? We're having so much fun with the Capals. I'm literally thinking of deleting the ban list coming up just so that we can reban the same people on a vote. We're having fun with that, aren't we? All right, we're getting those Capals. I'm letting people vote, people off the island, right? Allowing my audience to have a say. We're getting to be judge, jury, and executioner when the nonsense comes rolling through, right? But in the meantime, let's talk about some topics on current events. Let's talk training. Let's talk current world events. Talk all of that stuff. I just don't care about the fitness industry. That's the only thing I don't want to talk about. Let's talk about anything but the fitness industry. We're going to talk fitness. Let's talk training. Let's talk nutrition. Let's talk concepts. We can ignore the other people. But if you guys want to talk current events around the world, I'm happy to do that also. All right, we are happy to do so. But the people on Facebook have no clue what's going on with the Capals. Like they're just chiming in like, what is even happening? Let's see vote because they're not seeing the tube stream happen at the same time, so they don't have a clue unless they're regulars who chime in on both, which is some of them. But get those likes, guys. Come on. As soon as you get in here, hit that like button. Come on. And let's get comments. Right? Get it flowing. There we go. There's a like. Getting views. Veins are on point. We're all vascular and veiny. Right? We got that happening. Forearms on point. Damn, Blaha fans are eating lately. Another live. Thank you, bro, for the time. Man, it's the end of the month. You know, it's like it's funny, but it's the way all the ads work. I always like to just cram stuff in on the last day for some reason. I don't know why I do it. It doesn't ever even really work. I don't know why I do this. But hey, I mean, people are going to enjoy it. Michael says tips for safety, easing partner into fitness and lifting lifestyle without too much too soon or scaring them off too early. You know, I would just work on some basic lifts. Like you want to know the truth, so if the partner, I'm assuming maybe your wife, girlfriend, whatever. Just get them into the gym, work on some basic stuff like some box squats or something. I mean, really and truly, I would just work on something like some box squats, some overhead pressing, just some basic standing movements, even if it's with body weight, even with it's just dumbbells. Just ease them into it. You know, start with just the tip. You got to give them a little floor play, right? Hey, Francis, I don't know who she is, man. I'm the only fitness personality that we discuss on my channel. That's the rule, and you know that. I don't even know who that is. I don't know. I don't care. Next. This is irrelevant to anything. These people don't exist. I don't care about them. Next. We're going to start banning people for asking about other fitness personalities. How's that sound? That should be the new rule. Ban, and then when we do the next round of unbanned, you can be banned again. Since, you know, once we make it clear that that's the rule, we're just going to get rid of them. See, Defiant's already voting to ban you. You see that, Defiant? He's already mentioning, pretending like there's other fitness people besides me on my own channel. That's like a capital offense right there. Like, I mean, that's pretty much death penalty on the channel, straight to the gallows for that one. Pretending like there's some other fitness personality besides me anywhere in the world is a punishable offense. Sounds great. Instant kapow for bringing up shit influencers, right? Why y'all doing this? Tell them, guys. Now we're gonna let it slide for now. Like, you got to have time to let a law go into place. You can't just be retroactive with that stuff. You can't not publish a law and then enforce it. That only happens in tyrannies. We don't do that in America, right? That's not how we do it. People need to be given a little bit of time to be aware of the law. You got to ease it in, just like we were talking about easing in the box squats for Michael there. You just got to slowly work in the tip, the foreplay, I'll just go straight for the, Coach sounds in a mood today. Damn, keep up the good work. Man, we're having one of those days, bros. I had a very happy moment earlier today. I had a really good, just happy, real life moment today that just kind of brightened. It lifted, how do I put it? You know how you just have a cheerful moment that just lifts a weight off of your chest? You guys, have you ever had one of those? Not going into details. You've all had one of those, right? And you're just like, man, the world is going to be okay. No, this is too personal. It's too personal. Way too personal. But I just had one of those pleasant experiences in life, where you see something happen in life and go, you know what? There's still good in the world. Just had one of those moments. Yeah, a white pill. Is that what they call it? A white pill moment. Where you go, there's still hope left for humanity. I saw one of those today, and I'm just like, man, it just set me into a good mood. So yeah, Jason, who are your favorite live stream regular attendees? I don't know who my favorites are in here. All right. People who drop the biggest super chats. Recently, there was another study where bro split caused similar gains to higher frequency. Does frequency matter or not? I feel like the science guys are going back and forth forever. I'm going to say, obviously, frequency matters in terms of neural drive strength. So everything to do with frequency is balancing. Are we beating our tendons and joints up versus what are we getting on the neural drive? This is really what it comes down to. In all honesty, I feel like exercise science as it pertains to muscle growth is so piss poor, and it's such a weak science. It's just hard to take it too seriously at this point. Again, you've got to look at it, take it with a grain of salt. Be aware of it, read all of it, see what they're doing. Right? I think it's important for us to stay up to speed on this stuff. But you've got to take a lot of it with a grain of salt due to the nature of it. You got to take it with a grain of salt. My favorite one is that guy who gave me a $200 super chat that time. What was his name? He came back later under a new name too. He just mentioned it was Withers. His name was Withers. Dude dropped in. He gave me a few different ones. One day he just dropped like $200 in a super chat, just to say thank you for all the info over the years. Now that's showing love, And I got to be realistic about that. It's one thing for people to bring joy and everything, but when someone just flat drops money in the middle of a live stream like that, it's hard. It's hard to not show some favoritism, right? And that's only fair. We're all human. Got to make some plans for a special out. With a girlfriend, what is your ideal date night with a lady? Or your dinner movie guy? Let's hear it. Trip to the range for aromatherapy, right? You take her to the range, you pop off about 400 or 500 rounds of 9mm, right? Then you go have a steak. And then you go home and you cuddle on the couch and Netflix and chill. That's your ideal date. That's as romantic as it gets. We got Coast of Danger winking at me again. The veins, they're popping out. Like, that's romance right there. Especially if you have matching his and her pieces. Right? That's true romance. That's love. Or it's got to be a date to the squat rack. Right? The things that matter in life. Yeah, the veins are winking. See how the forearms are winking today too. I prefer cuddle and Netflix at the gun range. Oh, there you go. You can do that at the gun range too. Real squat date is an ideal date, right? She can't squat more than you though. That's a problem. So what do we think? Where are we going to rate? Look at the forearm vein there. What's up with that? Where'd that come from? Was that there earlier this week? Or is that a new one? Anybody remember seeing that vein before? Is that new? I don't recognize that vein. That is a strange. This vein is not familiar to me. Forearms and stupid cut man is just saying AI forearm. You saw that AI. Just in time forearm check. No, I think that's a new vein, guys. I think it's a new vein popping out right there. We need some further up here. Right? But there might be some under. Let's see how the Mount Bicephalus doing. Oh, Mount Bicephalus. I think there's some under there too. We're coming along, man. We're getting all veiny and vascular. I don't know. I've had all my carbs for the day, though, all of them. So it's just going to be protein the rest of the day. So that's why we got veins popping out. I'm all carbohydrated, right? There's hydrated and then there's carbohydrated. It's a whole nother tier. Coach got veins, so he's allowed to be vain, right? That's how it works. I don't know, dude. I go online though, people tell me I just look like a fat middle-aged guy who doesn't even lift. That's what people say. Those out in the peanut gallery. The ones who say that they can never lift anything, though, like they're always weak. They're always weak. You got to look at them and go, hey, man, we'll throw 500 on the bar and let's do some deadlift reps. They'd be like looking for straps. You guys got to be kidding me. Oh, it's because they don't have forearms, right? If volume stays equal, is it better to do more exercise or less exercise? For example, 2 sets of flat bench versus 1 set of flat bench. I wouldn't cut it down to the 1 set like that unless you're just doing top sets. Marco, I program a lot of different ways. I would not do the 1 set unless it's for a primary exercise that you were chasing a performance metric on. Make sense? But if you're doing it on 2 different ones, we're just getting silly at that point. No, I would say that's probably not ideal. It's probably not ideal. Plus, you're setting up 2 completely different exercises like that for the same muscle groups to do 1 set. I'm just saying, man. Why? That would be my question. So no, I don't really see what we are looking for with this particular situation. Get those likes up, by the way, guys. There's like 7 of you commenting. There's 5 likes. Where are them likes at? Kick them up. Kick them up a notch. All right? Let's bring them up. Maybe do another forearm check. We were getting good views. What happened? Something trickled down. It's because nobody's asking other good questions. And no offense, Marco, but you ask the same questions more or less every time. I feel like you're just looking for the answers that are not really there sometimes. I feel like in your case, some of the stuff that you ask is a little bit of paralysis by analysis. And I'm not saying we shouldn't care about these things, just be aware of that tendency. Have you read anything good lately? I'm trying to pull from video games and TV. Not really. I'm all on social media. I'm either social media resting, and social media is all money for me, or I'm talking to loved ones or spending time with loved ones. So not really. I haven't been reading any books lately. If I'm reading stuff, I'm looking at stuff online, information for different things that I may not always discuss with you guys, right? Plans for certain things I need to get done eventually. But yeah, at this point, man, I'm sleeping more. Like I've been tapping out earlier. I've noticed that with the heavier protein intake, I'm noticing I'm sleeping a little more. It's making me sleepy. I'll wake up a few times and then I tap back out. I've been sleeping in a little later before I'm all done because I don't really set an alarm. So we need to be clear. So a lot of times you guys see me up working at 3:30, 4 a.m. I just wake up. The last couple of days, it's been like a 5 a.m. wake up time. All right. Maybe my body's trying to grow more, recomp with all the protein intake, you know? So yeah, I'm definitely getting veinier. Would you consider going on a walk with no shirt for playing while playing? No. I'm not going to be out there doing sweaty stuff playing my guitars either. And no, that's just putting you in too vulnerable of a situation, walking down the street with a guitar strapped on. It's just the risk of a strap breaking, hitting the concrete, ruining my guitars. Those are not cheap guitars, Leighton. Like, what do you think the price tag is on any of the guitars I have? Like, what price range would you put those in? I'm not sure if you're a guitarist or not. Like, I'm not sure if you're quite aware of the price points. Yeah. The cheapest guitar I have over there is like $1,700-$1,800 if you catch it on sale. That's the cheaper one. Not wanting to go carry them down the concrete, the straps. It's just like, I actually really like my guitars. I'm not trying to just beat the hell out of them. So, talk about people would hate me, man. Let me drop a Gibson Les Paul on the coarse concrete and let people see it. And I'd be getting death threats from guitar lovers. It would be like, really, dude? Right? If you play guitar, you already know. You'd be like, did you really do that, dude? You really dropped a Gibson Les Paul on the concrete, just goofing off on camera. Be like, I hate you. Like, that you would. If you play guitar, you would hate me. You're like, dude, that's a real Gibson Les Paul. That's not an Epiphone. Like, did you really do that? So no, we're going to go with no on that. We're going to go with no. How much do we collectively need to super chat for you to give us some jams? I don't know. It doesn't sound right. So when I do these here, it just distorts the mic and messes the mic up when we've done it. You can barely hear it. So just blast the mic out. And I've got a pretty good mic. I'm sitting here with a Blue Yeti. It just doesn't like it through this platform. I'll grab and do a couple things just without an amp plugged in if you drop a super. I don't care, just any amount. Doesn't matter. I'll play something just for a minute. Okay. Couple dollars. I think that's reasonable. What do you guys think? We need a leg check today too. Let's see how the legs are doing. Let's see if legs are on point today also. What do we think, guys? How are the quads today? I don't know. They look a little flat. I did run this morning though. Need a bit more carbs in there. Need a bit more carbs. They need to get a little more carved up. All right. That's where everything is at. Let's get some real topics going. There's people looking, there's likes. Let's get more conversations going. This one might have to run a little while to get those conversations going. Might be one of them days. Right? Might be one of those days. Well, the funny thing is the supers today in a way count for more than ones tomorrow because I don't get them till 3 weeks into the month. So anything I get today, I get in 3 weeks. If I get them tomorrow, I won't get them for 7 weeks. It's just funny how that works. I think like that. I know it sounds silly because it's not like I'm going to get massive amounts of them ever. It's just ridiculous. It's funny. Funny how our minds work even with a few dollars. At least on mine, I think like that. Like it's worth more because I get it sooner. What is the latest literature you read lately? Nothing. Zero, nothing. I don't think I've sat around reading any literature lately, honestly. Like not in the last few days. I've had a lot of stuff going on. I've had a lot of things going on that I've had to take my attention away from, other than my work here. Play me some jams, Jason. We want a full song. I don't know about a full song, but let me grab your phone. I'm gonna sit down. I got to do the strat. Best literature is in the chat, right? Someone liked me doing Layla the other day. I messed it up. All right, that's Layla. It's a good song. It's of Eric Clapton. All right, what else you guys want? I want to tell you a story about a woman I know. I'm not going to sing with it. Right, you guys all know that one. That's a whole lot of Rosie by AC/DC. I've done some entire songs for you. Is there anything? Yeah, I've done Shoot to Thrill. I've done in videos. I've done Shoot to Thrill, start to finish. It's like 4.5 minutes long though. I've done Highway to Hell, start to finish, including all the solos in both of those. I've done those on the Les Paul all plugged in and everything. I mean, they're up if you dig for them. So, love it, Coach. All right. I messed up Layla in that first little lead part though. We can't all be Eric Clapton. Also wasn't warmed up. I haven't played it all day. We just jumped in cold. No, I've done both of those songs all the way through on camera before. Just so, like I said, Shoot to Thrill is like 4.5 minutes to do the whole song. But it's up somewhere. Should be. All right. I even do all the finger picking interlude. That's my favorite part. Do you ever play with backing tracks? I mean, I've got a metronome. I don't ever do backing tracks though. Oh yeah, I've got a metronome. Hold on. It's back here. All right. I'm gonna get cheap metronome. All right, back over to other conversations, guys. Make sure the volume didn't turn down from doing other stuff. It does weird stuff. It did a little bit. All right, pick it back up. But I appreciate the super chat. North American. I don't know what the Canadian will translate into, but it's all good. What else we have going on here, guys? We did a little bit of jamming. We've seen the quads. Let's get some topics. So here's the thing. I've heard, and I want to get confirmation before I do it in the title. I've heard that the suspect in the Charlie Kirk shooting is up here begging to not be given the death penalty now. Did anyone got confirmation of that? I saw something come through my feed of that. It's like, are you serious, man? You say you don't want the death penalty? It'd be about $1.30 USD. Okay. All that adds up though, man. Dude's over there not wanting, it's like you premeditatedly murdered a guy as a domestic terrorism, trying to silence his free speech in front of his wife and children in a state that has a death penalty. Like, what did he think was going to happen? Like there's no way he doesn't. If he's found guilty, there's no way he doesn't get it. That you will see rioting in the streets. That will probably be like it is. You haven't seen the right wing really riot yet, not like they have with the left and with burning cities. And that might be what pushes them over the edge if they don't give that guy the death penalty. That literally might actually have real blowback. Not that he's going to get it though. I just don't see that not happening. I don't see that guy, if he's found guilty, walking away without it. Just my opinion. I'm supposing Utah and Texas, there wouldn't even be a question. It's like, you're screwed. You done goofed, bro. Like we take that serious here. It's a different world. Like there are certain offenses here that you're automatically put up for it. Like it's going to be on the table immediately. Like, so any first degree to where it's a pregnant woman, a child under like 14, a police officer, dude, that's automatically coming up on the table. Like here, that is like, they're going straight to that. You don't really get more viewers in chat. I don't know. It just varies. What are the factors that result in teenagers that take gear having for better results than seasoned lifters who haven't been on gear and training sometimes longer than these teenagers? They're taking large amounts, North American. So here's the thing. You're going to find a lot of older lifters use less. They're a little more cautious about it. So it's been my observation, a lot of the really young guys, when you talk to them, dude, they go straight to the high doses. They don't even play around sometimes. Like they don't assess the risk factors the same, right? I mean, you just use Larry Wheels as a textbook example, or Kanevsky. And I hate to bring up people like that, but just look at their admitted cycles. Those are both examples of guys who exceeded 2 grams a week before they were adults by their own admissions. So those are guys who were in high school, were not 18 yet, who took doses above 2 grams a week. So that's why you're seeing it. It's the degree of recklessness to which they are willing to do it really early. And I think that's what you're seeing with a lot of it. A lot of these really young guys are willing to really just push the envelope. Some of them are going all the way to doses you would expect for a guy trying to earn his pro card in bodybuilding. He's already done a few bodybuilding shows. It's like, okay, I'm ready to go pro. You're seeing guys just jumping straight to that immediately from day one. And those 2 guys are perfect examples. And that was in the past. You're seeing it more and more. So that's why you're seeing some of them really blow up. Thoughts on the current? That's too nuanced or complicated to go into. There's good and bad. I've made it very clear I've been unhappy with the Maha situation. I was really hoping it would be great. And so far it's not. He's done, from my perspective, he's done nothing of benefit. Nothing that's actually going to help. He left the big stuff out. I mean, I'll give you an example of what I mean as a pointless endeavor. Leaving all the other junk in and caring about red dye. Like, dude, you left table sugar and junk food on the table. Like, this is pointless at this point. It's so insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Replacing high fructose corn syrup with table sugar, 0 benefits. Right? What do you mean considering? I already did, Gregory. I started rebanning a bunch, but I did a full mass unban a month ago. I literally went through and removed the entire ban list a month ago. But then people have gotten out of control again, so I've just kind of re-kicked it over. I already did it a while back. I was going to see how well people could behave. I did it just to see. I did it just as an experiment. But people are enjoying the Kapow vote so much, I feel like eventually I'm going to need to unban those people just so we can vote for them again and people can get all excited about the Kapows. Hell, someone has even dropped super chats over the Kapow votes. Like they're so happy about it. Fun. I coach live again. We are back up. Figure we do one more for the end of the month. Especially since my important work is kind of done for the day, and then I can finish another one of these up early. I can call it quits for content if I so choose for the rest of the day. So yeah, but it's not going to result. Hey, Gregory, so if you could see it resulting in mass traffic to my streams, it would have a month ago. Did you see any of my streams when I did it pick up to thousands of views? No, not at all. Because it's only like 5 people. So Gregory, it's not like I'll be unbanning a bunch of people. It's unbanning the same person's 300 accounts. Like it's only a handful of people, dude. It's not like they can be chimed in. Not like they can log into the stream with 100 accounts all at once and watch them all at the same time. So do you see how pointless that is? It's only like 3 or 5 guys. I mean, you probably one of them, just to be honest. On one of your 100 accounts. I'm not saying you are, but there's a pretty good chance. So, it obviously didn't work because we didn't see the mass traffic increase. We saw no change. So, all I saw was me getting tagged in more stupid stuff and having to go through and block people, like getting tagged in videos. Like that's it. That was the only increase I saw. North America says, I can't lie, Jason. I'm here 50% for wisdom, 50% for the Kapows. So I've done mass unbans twice within the last year and a half. I've done 2 major complete unbans of pretty much 99% of the block list, because you can't remove the entire thing. It would take 20 hours. Because when you delete the whole thing, it takes like half. So deleting the entire block list removes about half of your block list. And then you do it again and it does another half. So you do it 20 times. There's still going to be people on it. So you have to take it all the way to the end. Yeah. No, it wasn't 100 views. No, it wasn't. The highest we hit was the Charlie Kirk, other than one walking alive that reached 150. The highest we hit was on the Charlie Kirk one a couple weeks ago. And we reached 80 concurrent viewers. That's been the record. I'm just telling you what it's been. All right. Yeah. So, yeah. Like I did a mass unban recently, like within the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe. Actually, I think it was after that. And yet here we are with 8 viewers. So therefore your hypothesis is wrong, because I haven't rebanned that many people. Right. It's been a tiny number compared to what I unbanned. You know, I unbanned like 1,000 people. I've only rebanned about 15 or 20. So there's your hypothesis kind of debunked, is the person who's actually hitting the buttons. Like I unbanned like 1,000 people, dude, within the last couple of weeks. And yet here we are. So, you know, good afternoon, Coach. What's up, Dropkick? You know, Coach giveth and Coach taketh away. Because sometimes I hope maybe people will come back and have learned a lesson or something. But clearly that's not the case. They're just not. They're just broken individuals who come into streams and troll. Like no one who comes and really trolls like that and does the crazy stuff they do is really a sane person who's just going to get better. You know, generally people who need psychological help that they're obviously not getting. Right? You know, I mean, let's just be realistic. A person who is well adapted and well adjusted and doing well in their life like that is not going to go make alt accounts and troll and hate on a fitness YouTuber somewhere or join a group of people obsessed with hating on them. They're just not. Like that is already a sign of really serious mental illness. It's not being properly treated or addressed just by default. You know, and that's a fair statement. It wouldn't even have to be about me. It could be anybody in a similar situation, right? That's someone who's already unhinged, or someone who would even watch those sort of propaganda videos and actually take them seriously. Like that's a sign that somebody is unhinged. Hey Tyrone, I've done it though. Do you have a Discord? No, I don't have a Discord. Like you asking, do I have the app or do I go on Discord? I do have the app. I don't have it load because I had another hobby that I wasn't really showing you guys. And so some other hobbyists in my area, I was in their Discord just to get information. But I haven't been in there. I just kind of unplugged from that in the last 6 months. So outside of that, no, I don't really do Discord. Nope. Coach, can you move individual pec muscles like The Rock? Like this? You can alternate them left, right, left, right. That's not even that hard to do. Like you can't do that. Like no one had to teach me how to do that. I just tried it one day and I could do it. Yeah, I have no interest in starting a Discord server. I could post stuff on Facebook at the same time and get paid for it. Is Discord monetized? Do they have ads? Yeah. I like your consistency and discipline. You build discipline with your habits, right? Strength trip. That is the whole thing. You build it with your habits. Habits create discipline. So once you establish them and you do it long enough, these things just become your normal. But it wouldn't be enough to justify it. Like, I need stuff to pick up more than that. Like, I'm not interested in starting a whole other side venture that makes $100 a month. It's absolutely not worth my time. I didn't actually have a Discord. But Gregory, you even talking about that tells me a lot about you. It tells me that you're a creepy stalker. See what I mean? Yep. So, yeah, you could love it all you want. I'm still not interested in doing it. What do you mean? I already have all these other social media. No, not even going to happen. I'd consider it for a minimum $1,000 a month. But if I guarantee it wouldn't even be worth it. Would consider it as an option on the table. Seeking your wisdom, my close friend is feeling tremendous pressure from his parents to have children right away. He is 39 and newly married. He doesn't want kids, but doesn't want to hurt. He needs to tell his family. Discord is made for weird stalkers. I agree. He needs to tell his family to mind their business. That they can want him to have kids right away, but that is his personal choice to make. That is not their choice to make for him to do that. Right? He's 39 years old. Come on. It's not like he's 21 and that influenced by his family still. No, he needs to just step up and tell his family, look, I love you, but this is not your choice to make. At this point, I'm going to do it when I'm ready. Don't pressure me into this. I don't know. You wouldn't get much of anything. I'd start the Discord and show up once a month. Maybe. But you see what I mean? Like, we're not even talking hypotheticals. Like, unless you're going to sign a contract up for, you see what I mean? It's ridiculous. I could put that same energy into my established stuff already. I could just push more. That same time, I could post 57 more posts with open client slots and eventually get a few clients to come in. And that's a better use of my time. I could post on Facebook. I can make more videos. So it's like this is a completely useless endeavor. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you strike me as a stalker. You guys ready? Shall we vote? He posted a bunch of stuff that indicate to me that he is a stalker. So we're going to put you up for the jury. So Gregory, does he stay or does he go? Leighton says a kapow. We got one go. One vote so far. The jury gets to drop votes. We'll give you guys about 10, 20 more seconds to vote. Do you take on extreme beginners for coaching? I've voted Nate. Yes, I do. I take on plenty of novices. They need to be able to use a smartphone correctly to film. Tyrone gives 2. Chris gives him a stay. You got 2 kapows, 1 stay. North American, what do you think? You like the kapows? Please summarize the reasons why. The things he discussed are things only stalkers who watch hate videos about me would even be discussing. And then he's pressuring me into doing a Discord, knowing that this is stalker haven to even upload spyware and stuff to my computer. So I ain't hanging out in the Discord with the computers I use for work that someone else operates. All right, so we're at 2 to 1. He's a hacker. There's Tyrone saying, right? Two to one. There have been no other votes. We're about to pass sentence. Suspicious. That's very suspicious. Any other votes, guys? Once that coach, I'm leaving. Gregory's leaving the super tonight. Get kicked. Max says stay. Only Kapow you give an extra loud Kapow. Let's give him a moment to see if he's really going to drop a super. But on thin ice, right? We're going to give him a minute. Because we at like 3-2 potentially. Bribery. He's trying to bribe his way to stay on the island. That's funny as hell. It's almost like when Dean comes in here and starts super chat wars. I'll match anybody else's super that he doesn't. Like, Dean's hilarious. Come on, Gregory, you're running out of time. He's like, hello, coach. I'm trying to do all this too. We're going to give him a short time. But just so he can't bury it, I'm going to go to his channel tab so that I can ban him from there. At any point, including after the stream ends, now it's open in another tab. I can hit the button right there at any moment. We set the timer. Everyone's in anticipation. They're in anticipation. Gregory, the timer is almost up. See if he's going to come through with it. Are you guys ready? There it is. He just outed himself, which I already knew. Warm it up. Kapow! Kapow! You're out of here. Now, do you guys want me to disprove what he just said? Right here in the live stream. Okay, so not only did we ban him, see my Carvana folder? Let me see. Let me see if it's got something with my name on this part. Gotta have my name, say my name, say my name. What is around me? Okay. Thank you for renewing your registration. You saw a VIN there. There's Jason Blaha. I mean, really, guys, are you really going to claim I didn't own a car? This car wasn't mine. It's my Carvana stuff. I'm not going to put an insurance card because I don't want them to know what insurance company I use. But yeah. If that was good enough. That's good enough for now. Guys are ridiculous. It's just silly. But in any event, what else we have going on? So they didn't actually check anything. No. North, I did one time and they still were hating. Like, I think I flipped one over with my banking app showing whatever in my checking account that I had like $7,000 or $8,000 in the checking account. And, right there on like my banking app, like, look right here, guys. And they were still like, that's all that you own. And then they could see that there were savings accounts. It's just, you can't prove anything to people, dude. They don't care. They're just haters. Like, we've already done this stuff. Max says, my friend said he could lift 500 pounds smoking crack when he normally could only lift 120 pounds. Is there any way this is true, coach? No. Yeah, once you show proof, they ignore. The proof is fake. They change, they move the goalpost. There's no way to do anything with haters. And then it's just digging for info. So it's like I could have grabbed an insurance card and flipped that up. Just arrange. Let the abs and the veins, let the lifts, right? Let the veins, let the lifts talk. These are just haters not doing anything with their life. But let's get over to more important topics. But it's like anything like that is usually just digging for info. All right. Which I'm not going to need to show all that. But they wouldn't even accept that, Chris. And considering the car has been totaled out, I am technically not the owner anymore. The insurance has already covered it. So it's already a done deal. Coach, is it true that you can lift more under the influence of ADHD? That's pretty unlikely. Right. So, yeah, I mean, Chris, it's a done deal. I'm technically not the owner anymore. It's already been totaled out. Yeah, they do waste their time. This is called being weirdos. You're talking about people who need to be locked up for their own mental health. What do you do? So at this point, they're just digging for info because it's saying, well, we checked. No, you didn't check, because if you did, you would have known the car was mine. You'd have known years ago when they were sending me pictures of my own car with the license plate. Now, had they really checked, they would know. The vehicle's registered to me. But that doesn't meet their narrative, because I can't have owned a vehicle of that value and still been on the magical welfare they pretend I'm on. It derails their entire story, right? But again, this isn't helpful to anyone. This isn't even a useful line of conversation at this point. Let's just move on from it. Not helpful to anybody. Let's get over to topics of importance or fun. It's just one reason my personal life's going to stay more and more and more buried off the internet. It's just better. I'm a guy who does workout stuff and live streams for you. And for a long time, that's all I intend to be. Right? So, dips safe or not for people who feel discomfort in sternum? Well, Marco, this has been discussed ad nauseum by physiology experts that, and it's a general recommendation, if you feel pain in the center of your sternum, you probably shouldn't do dips. Proceed with caution. And I think that's reasonable advice. North American, why would I discuss that at all? No, it would make anybody squirm. It won't make anybody squirm at all. That's not how haters work. That's not how it works at all. Um, you know. Yep. All right. But yeah, Marco, I'm going to go with no. Now, when I say that, I get lots of people who come through and argue with me and say, well, I felt pain in my chest and I just kept doing it until it went away and it's been fine. It's like, okay, well, in that case, that's great. But because there has been some histories of injuries from it and dips are an optional exercise, not like they're a competitive lift or strength standards, they're just a really good exercise. I would say proceed with caution. Do them at your own risk in that case. Oh, sorry, North America. Let me explain how this works. Oh, yeah, man. I plan on getting a Lamborghini next week. That's my plan. So that's going to be the whole strategy. I'm going to go get a Lamborghini to go with my gym in Oklahoma that I'm opening. Right? Yep. That's going to be the plan. Or I could just keep my whole life off the internet other than the training, which I think would be better. Coach moving to, that's right, starting a gym there. What's your current stance on preacher curls? I think it's a good exercise. I think it's risky if you cheat on it. You need to be very careful if you choose to do it. Right? It's because I got to move to Oklahoma too. Now they will clip that and say you're lying and delusional for getting a labor. Of course they will, Leighton. Of course they will. There he goes. He's lying. So it's like you can't win. So we need to just say, I'm not going to discuss it. And I think that's the best approach. Deuce, I have no idea. It sounds like you need to talk to a lawyer. Right? It sounds like in this case, if you believe that you got a prostitute pregnant in Thailand, and she's sure it's yours, of course she's sure it's yours. Because you're the only one she's been with, right, as a prostitute. I don't know. It sounds like maybe you should talk to a lawyer about this one, right? Consult an attorney and see what they say. I have no idea how that works at all. I don't know the first thing about child support laws, particularly cross states or cross nations. I suppose the child support laws depend upon what state you live in. Probably a big factor because those are state laws, those are not national. I don't know how that works. But it seems pretty unlikely without a paternity test involved. From abroad, claiming it's yours. But I don't know. I think you should speak to an attorney in your local area and see what they say. But congratulations on being a daddy. Congrats, man. Are you sure it was in prostitute? Are you sure it wasn't a dude though? Like, did you make a butt baby or something? I don't know. I don't know how this works. Outside of my element. It's getting kind of later in the day though. I think it's about time to wind all this down. So we'll give it 10 more seconds. We're gonna let it run to the hour. And then we will be out. But yeah, Leighton, you're right. You can't win in any of those things. So it's better for me to just stick to the topics at hand. leave my own life completely out of the equation. And the Facebook. They should back me up on this. What? Back you up on what? I'm about to roll out, dude. We're winding it down, man. We'll be back in tomorrow, though. We'll be back. Love you guys, and we're out.